If you are a writer or a speaker, tools of trade are your words, the words you use. Now, are those words sharp or are they blunt? It's very important, if you want to be a good speaker, to pick the right words. Remembering, of course, that thing referred to as semantics, the meaning of the word. Now, if I was to say to you, the man sat in the chair, you could picture a man and you could picture a chair. Now, let's just focus on the chair for a moment. The chair that you see in your mind is not the chair that I possibly have seen in my mind. It could be an armchair. It could be a deck chair. It could be a wooden dining room table chair. It could be all manner of chairs. But there would be agreement between all of us what a chair actually looks like. It's something we sit on, it has legs, and there would be general agreement between what I've said about the chair, or a chair, and your interpretation of that word. But if you're a speaker and you use abstract concepts such as the man has a good education, there are all types of looking at interpreting that word education. For example, I left school at 14 years of age and am a self-educated man, largely self-educated. Let me read a little bit about this word education from a book I've got here, Thinking and Writing, a book I bought when I was in my early 30s so that I could study to get my HSC, because I left school at 14 and didn't have my HSC. I got it when I was about 33 years of age. So here's what the word education says. My father was determined to give me a good education, so he made me stay at school until I passed my exams. Now that's one interpretation of the word education. Let's look at a few more. I've never been to school in my life, but I reckon I'm as well educated as the next bloke. Although he's a well-educated man, he always gets taken in by a pretty woman. Teenagers must be educated in the use of alcohol. Dawn Fraser, the swimmer, watching Dawn Fraser swim was an education. The judge described the delinquents as uncouth and lacking education. You see what I mean by that word education, how it means different things to different people and is interpreted in different ways. So when you're a speaker and you're using such abstractions as freedom, then you're on dangerous ground unless you've clarified earlier on in the context of your speech what you mean by freedom, this particular type of freedom. As I said, words are your tools of thought, your tools of trade as a writer and as a speaker. Be sure that you have a good working vocabulary, that you understand that the words that you use and understand that they can be misinterpreted by the people who are listening to you if you're a speaker. That's why it's a good idea, if you put in an idea forward, paraphrase it, rephrase it in several different ways so it's very clear to the listeners exactly what you mean. At the same time, picking those words that are powerful, emotive, and really hit home in the listener's heart. That is why the words you use and the words you add to your working vocabulary, the words you normally use in normal conversation, are deep and meaningful. In that way, your speeches will be deep and meaningful too.